I'm so glad you're joining me today for Everyday Yoga. This is a lovely little morning sequence or mid-morning break sequence that you can enjoy just laying on a mat on the floor, or you could even use a towel or a blanket here because we're not going to be doing any standing or balancing. We're just going to be doing some yummy, delicious stretching just to rejuvenate ourselves and get ourselves through the day, or even start the day, or even end the day, really. So if you have a block, I encourage you to bring one along. If you don't have a block, you could maybe take a book and wrap it up in a thick towel to give yourself a little bit of cushion. A rolled up towel or a small bolster pillow would even work here. But we're going to come slowly to the floor with our feet planted firmly and our knees pointing up towards the sky, bringing our back completely down to the floor. And then we're just going to lift up into a very gentle bridge, just enough to slide your block of choice right underneath the tailbone. And you don't want it on the pokey end of the tailbone. You want it kind of right between where, just underneath where your belt would be if you were wearing one, and above where the tailbone kind of juts out, so that we're nice and safe. But we're really opening up this low back, especially if you're just getting up in the morning. And you've been curled up sleeping all night. This can be a great way to start opening up the hips for the day. And as you rest here on even a flat surface, if you don't have anything that you could use as a substitute block, just with your knees gently kind of coming in toward one another, maybe even touching, and you could bring your feet out a little wider than your hips, so that they're more in line with the outer edge of the mat. So let your hands rest on your belly here and just notice your breath. Notice how your low back feels with the added pressure from the floor or the block or a pillow. Notice how the belly rises as you inhale. And notice how the belly gently flutters towards the earth as you exhale. And we're just going to stay here for a couple more breaths, just kind of passively letting that block do its work to open up the low back. Breathing at your own pace, paying attention to the rise and the fall of the belly as you breathe. Notice how this feels in your hip flexors, in the front of the body. Notice how your shoulders are pressing down onto the earth. Elbows are heavy, resting at your sides. Begin to deepen the breath and bring the feet back parallel with one another, knees pointing straight up at the sky. Bring the palms to your sides down to the mat, and just inhale to lift and curl the hips up off the mat, up off the block or book or whatever, and then gently roll your back down one vertebrae at a time. And we're just going to do that to loosen up the back a little bit more, inhaling to curl the tailbone up and lift the hips towards the sky, bridge pose, and exhaling to roll that back down to the mat. Inhale to roll up into bridge. Exhale to roll the spine down back to the mat. Just these nice, gentle rolling bridges, pressing the triceps into the mat, pressing the palms and the fingers into the mat as you lift, keeping the chin pointed up towards the sky, but kind of tucked in towards the chest at the same time so that the neck is not crunched up here. And the next time you inhale and lift into bridge pose, stay here and breathe for a couple of breaths. You can be pressing with your arms into the earth, or if you like, you can kind of tuck your shoulder blades in and clasp your hands underneath your hips. This can give you just a little bit more leverage to push those hips up towards the sky. Breathe here. And the next time you inhale, switch your clasp so that the opposite index finger, opposite thumb are on top. Take a full round of breath here. And the next time you inhale, go ahead and bring the arms back out to your sides and exhale to gently roll the spine one vertebrae at a time back to the mat. And let's inhale, and as you exhale, bring one leg and then the other up so that the knees are tucked in towards the chest. And you can roll from side to side here. Maybe your knees are up closer to your collarbones. Maybe they're down here closer to your hips. Really play with the placement of the knees to find out where the most benefit is for your low back here. You can kind of rock a little back and forth as you bring the knees in and out. Inhale here, and as you exhale, curl the knees up, curl the nose up, make yourself a nice little ball. And as you inhale, go ahead and lengthen everything, stretching out nice and long, reaching with the fingers and toes to opposite ends, taking a full round of breath here, really stretching everything out nice and long. The next time you exhale, go ahead and bring both feet back to the mat. Inhale here, and then exhale to draw the left knee towards the chest. Clasp around the knee or the shin. And gently roll the ankle in one direction and then the other. Just loosening that ankle up. And then draw the right leg out long as you inhale. And as you exhale, draw your left knee across the body towards the right. And if you still have your block or pillow handy, you could actually have it underneath the left foot or knee as you come over towards the left. But you want the foot resting on something, so either on your inner leg, or on the floor, or on a pillow or blanket or block, something to give your knee a little support here. You can draw the left arm out to the left side and gaze back over your left palm as you twist the left knee towards the right. Notice how your hip feels as you inhale. Try to keep that left shoulder blade flat on the mat. If it's not, come out of the twist a little bit so that your back is nice and flat on the mat. Inhale here. Exhale to really tap into the core so that the next time you inhale, you're using the stability of your core to come back to center. Then we'll bring both feet back to the mat. And then let's bring the right knee in toward the chest, rotating the ankle from one side and then the other. Inhaling the left leg long. Exhale here to really engage that core, those belly muscles. And then inhale to roll the right knee over towards the left side. Reaching the right arm out long, gazing over the right shoulder, and see my toes are resting here on the floor to give my knee a little support. You don't just want it waving around up here, putting our joints at risk. So as you inhale and exhale here, notice what you feel in your body. Where do you feel the stretch, if anywhere? On the right side of the body, on the right hip, in the right armpit, the right arm. One more inhale here. Exhale to engage that core, and then inhale everything back to center into that nice little ball, lifting the nose, maybe rocking gently forward and back, letting the mat give you a little massage here as you go back and forward, back and forth. And then let's come all the way flat to the mat again. Stretch everything out long. And then let's bring the left foot and hand over towards the left corners of the mat, followed by the right foot and hand, so that we're making this kind of curved C shape. If you want a little bit more of a stretch in that right hip, you can bring the right ankle on top of the left. You can bring your palms together here, maybe clasp the hands and point the index fingers. And as you inhale, think about opening up the right side body, the right hip, the ribs, the upper back and shoulder, the armpit, tricep. Inhale all the way, expanding the right side body. Exhale, engaging that core just a little bit, so that when you inhale back to center, you've got a little extra support there. Exhale here, inhale again, just to kind of recenter ourselves, and then we'll take it over to the right side. So right hand to the top right corner, right foot to the bottom right corner, followed by the left hand and foot. You can just have the arms and legs side by side here if that feels good, or if you want a little more, you can clasp the hands and point the index fingers and cross the left ankle over the right. Noticing as you inhale how that stretches the outer left side of the body. Noticing how that opens up some space here. Bringing a little flexibility to the spine. Bringing fresh oxygen to all those joints. One more inhale here, opening up. Exhale to engage the core, and inhale to come back to center and find that nice big stretch here. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, and as you exhale, bring your feet back to the mat, knees pointing up towards the sky. Bring the hands back to the belly and gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And if you like, you can add the neck here, looking to the left as your knees go to the right, looking to the right as the knees go to the left, back and forth, inhaling center, exhaling to each side. And the next time you come back to center, we're either going to rock and roll up and down the mat like we did before, or if you didn't care for that, you could just go ahead and come to one side or the other into a nice little fetal position here. Take a nice breath or two as you rest here. Noticing what you feel in your body. And the next time you inhale, when you're ready, begin to gently push yourself up to a seat. Nice, easy, cross-legged seat here, just to end our practice today. Bringing the arms out to the sides, opening up the palms to the front. Turn the palms up and inhale, lifting them up overhead. Look up gently, find your thumbs. Exhale to bring the hands right here to heart center. I hope you feel as refreshed as I do. And I hope that as you go throughout your day today, you remember to take stock of your body. Notice what you're feeling. Give your body a little space and a little kindness today. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you find peace and joy. Namaste.